Well, hello and welcome to your final week in review for Module 8, Week 8. Can you believe it that you're already through the entire course? Give yourself a pat on the back. If you think about everything that you've gone through with this course, all the learning activities, the threaded discussions, the Move Note presentation, the readings, which alone I know were kind of not a lot of reading, but it was very dense material, and working through that. So again, job well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right, so what are we doing in this final week, Module 8, Week 8? Well, we are still doing our quiz. You'll have a very small quiz this week, only 10 questions coming from the final 2 chapters in the textbook. You'll also have your learning activity. It'll be a little different this week. More of a reflection piece on the Mercy core values. Please take some time to read that. I think it's kind of a nice departure, a nice way to end the course. Also, you'll be doing your final Move Note presentations or your Move Note peer reviews. Make sure you do 2 of them. So far, everybody's done really good. I think we've only had one person that's missed getting their peer evaluations in. But again, looking really, really good on that. Make sure you do 2 peer evaluations to get the full points, which are basically those discussion points, that 25 points. I will be compiling towards the end of the week, compiling those summaries to you, to the individuals, and giving you that feedback on those presentations. So look for that coming probably this weekend is when they'll finally be done, so you can see what your peers said about your presentations. Okay, so we have the Move Note. Also, you have your final. Questions about the final. Well, it's 50 questions long, so it's not that in-depth, but it does include all 8 modules. Even this week, there will be questions on there. These questions are nothing new. They're all questions that you have seen. I will say that there are no math calculation questions on the final, so rest assured that you don't need a calculator for it. But again, the takeaway point is that these are already questions that you've seen. So please go back and study those quizzes. Again, it should be relatively easy to do very well on this final exam by studying your past quizzes. All right, so, we have the Affordable Care Act paper that is due this week. Just make sure that you follow the parameters that are in the description of that project, basically having the 3 pages in there, APA format, and that your opinions are supported, that whatever you're supporting in that about the economic impact of the Affordable Care Act, you have some references to back that up. So, and you need 4 of them. So make sure you have that. You should have no problem. I know many of you have already gotten started early on that and have done yourself a favor. Actually had most of it done last week, so that is great. But even if you're starting this week, again, it's a small paper. It should be no problem if you start today. Okay, so the Affordable Care Act paper is due. Also, extra credit. In the course news, I think it was last week or the week before, there was an extra credit opportunity. If you want those points, you have to have that extra credit opportunity done by the end of this week, so don't forget about that. The drop box for that extra credit is located in that news item. You can always go back to previous news items by scrolling all the way down on the course homepage, and then you can click, there's a link on there that will bring up all news items for the entire 8 weeks, and you can scroll through there and find that for the extra credit. Late work. Okay, I think all the grading all the way through Module 7 is done. If you have anything from Module 1 through 7 that you didn't do, here's your chance to do it. Now, there will be a small deduction on points. That's only fair for those people that got it in on time. But I'll be very reasonable. So please don't think that it's, not even worth doing. It's very much worth doing. You want to avoid any zeros in those grade columns. So please go to your grade book. Look at it. Usually when I see an assignment that's missing, I'll put a 1 in there, so you'll see a 1 point. Again, look for those and try to get those assignments done by the end of this week so you can get those points. If you see that you have a 1 in any of those columns for something that you have turned in, again, please notify me, let me know. I'll be happy to reevaluate that. Again, know that there's going to be, for late work, there will be a small deduction on points, but again, it is worth doing. And then lastly, this week you will have a small lecture. I'll be preparing one tomorrow. But I'd really, if the major focus that you should have will be completing your paper and the final and all these other things. I know it's a very hectic week. So the lecture that you have this week will not be directly related to any content that you are going to see on the quiz. So if you don't see the lecture this week, no big deal. It's not necessarily going to reflect on the quiz. So in the past, I made sure the lectures did reflect directly to the quiz, but this week you're busy enough, so don't worry about it. But it will be directly tied into the chapter readings, and it'll help with your understanding of those topics. All right, so looking at my notes here, I think we've covered everything for this very, very busy week. I wanted to let you know that I appreciate all of your contributions to this course. You are an extremely strong cohort in general. Very, very, very solid grades. So I'm very pleased to have been your instructor for the past 8 weeks. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about healthcare economics, some takeaway points that you can take with you in your career as you venture out into healthcare administration and hopefully someday into healthcare leadership, that these concepts will resurface again in multiple areas throughout your career. So, excellent. Well, if there's anything that I can do this week, don't hesitate to contact me. A lot of folks have been texting me. That's great. We've been going back and forth on that. I know this week is going to be a busy week. Again, please don't hesitate to contact me either this week or beyond with any questions, concerns as you go through your academic career here at Mercy College. Excellent. Well, again, thank you very much for being a part of this class. And as always, thank you for watching.